everybody. This is another episode of Election Map, and we are going to discuss the southern state of Kerala in this. 20 seats of Kerala will vote in the second phase of elections of 2024 Lok Sabha. 26th of April is when the state of Kerala will vote. Now, there are 20 seats here. What happened in 2019 is particularly interesting because Rahul Gandhi, the Congress leader, was nominated for the first time as the MP candidate from Wayanad, and that led to a lot of euphoria. And UDF actually swept the state. All seats of the state except one voted for the Congress-led UDF. Now, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi is again the candidate for Wayanad, and it remains to be seen what happens. But in 2021, something interesting happened. The Chief Minister of Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan, who leads the NDF, the left-led alliance in the state, the ruling alliance, that basically won the state. And Pinarayi Vijayan actually created history by becoming, an incumbent Chief Minister to come back to not just finish his term, but also come back to power. So that happened in 2021. It was mainly because left worked on its governance and also on its organization. Now, what is happening now is what is happening in 2024 Lok Sabha is interesting because there are three alliances here. One, like I said, the LDF led by Pinarayi Vijayan. It's a collection of left party. CPI is also contesting, and you also have the UDF on the other hand. So Kerala politics has always been this binary polity between UDF and LDF. UDF is led by the Congress. It also has the IUML, and you have the BJP, which leads the NDA alliance. Remember that the Kerala Congress, which used to be an important, prominent, point of influence for Christians in central part of Kerala, moved from UDF to LDF. It had one MP in 2019. So that is the state of alliances right now. And 2019, like I said, the UDF had swept the state in all but one seat. And this time, LDF seems to be very insistent on ensuring that it repeats a performance like it did in the assembly polls, while the UDF, again, harping on the presence of Rahul Gandhi, is hoping for a repeat of 2019 election polls. Now, the geography of the place is particularly important because you'll have to understand that we start with Northern Kerala. Northern Kerala has Kasaragod, Kannur. Kannur has seen, it's been seen as this leftist bastion, but at the same time, it has also seen lots of violence between SFI and RSS activists. You also have Wayanad, which is the northern part of Kerala. Wayanad is where Rahul Gandhi is contesting from. You also have Annie Raja from CPI contesting, in Wayanad. Remember, Kerala is one of the states where the CPI, where the seat sharing and alliance in among India allies have not really worked, and left leaders, including the Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, have hit out at Rahul Gandhi for not leaving out the seat for a left ally, despite CPI actually announcing it first. In fact, I spoke to Annie Raja, and she was very critical of Rahul Gandhi as, for his performance as an MP, and she said that it is actually a betrayal of an opposition unity, that the Congress did not take on the BJP directly and as yet, but has chosen to contest from a winnable safe seat. So Wayanad will also see a triangular contest because the BJP state president K. Surendran is contesting from Wayanad. When you come down to a little bit of, north central and central Kerala, you have Malappuram, which is where the BJP has placed its, first Muslim candidate from Abdul Salam, who has been the VC of a university there. In central parts of Kerala, you have Palakkad, you have Thrissur. And Thrissur is seen as the cultural capital of Kerala, and this is where the BJP is hoping to make some gains. Actor-turned politician Suresh Gopi is contesting from there, and he has he's not fighting for the first time. He's also fought in assembly polls, and while he's never managed to win, the BJP points out that there's been a steady increase in vote share. Apart from Suresh Gopi, there is also there is a triangular fight there because CPI Sunil Kumar is also there, and you also have the Congress candidate contesting from Thrissur. Now, there is also Palakkad, which is where the BJP is focusing on, and southern parts of Kerala, which did not see as much voting as the northern parts of Kerala this time. We'll see interesting contests. You have Pathanamthitta and Thiruvananthapuram. I'll explain the interesting contests that are taking place there, because Trivandrum is, of course, the center of all attraction there because of Mr. Shashi Tharoor and MOS Rajiv Chandrasekhar contesting from there. But that is for a little bit later. What are the big promises that the Prime Minister and the UDF and LDF have made? Remember, the Prime Minister was in Kerala on Monday, and this is the 6th time this year that he is visiting Kerala. In fact, Kerala was also an integral part of his Anushthan process, the cleansing and the kind of tough regime that rituals that she took part in before conducting the Pran Pratishtha in Ayodhya. He was in Sri Priya Temple in Thrissur. He also attended the wedding of Suresh Gopi's daughter, and he is basically saying that the state is in a condition of decline, and he's been promising a lot of infrastructure for Kerala. He's been saying that he's going to develop ecotourism. Now, if you look at the BJP's manifesto, also it has a lot of things for not just the fishing community, but also talks a great deal about infrastructure. In fact, it also promises a bullet train for the south of India. Now, Pinarayi Vijayan, the LDF has taken on the BJP directly, and they've said that the BJP in fact should be doing introspection of sorts, because the UP social indicators rankings are much lower than Kerala, and in fact it is focusing on talking about federal injustice, and it's talking about increasing the state borrowing limit when it comes to central funds. And the UDF here is focusing on Rahul Gandhi's candidature and hoping that it will create a wave of sorts like it did in 2019. But people don't seem to be too convinced about that, because LDF, while is facing anti-incumbency, is also working on a couple of things. Let me tell you that, and I think that is the most important part of Kerala elections. One is, of course, the focus of LDF on 3 things: the Manipur violence, the atrocities that are taking place in Palestine, and especially with regard to what is happening with the Hamas after the Hamas attack, especially what's happening in West Asia, and most importantly, it is also talking a lot about CAA. In fact, Pinarayi Vijayan has gone out of his way to take part in anti-CAA rallies, and this is to send out a message to the Muslim community that it is the left party, it is the CPM that is taking on the BJP and its policies directly, and the Congress, in fact, it is alleging, is hand in glove with the BJP and is really soft on the party, and especially when it comes to policies that can be seen as anti-Muslim. Now, this is quite tricky, because IUML is part of the UDF. It is with the Congress party. And when you talk about Manipur violence, whatever happened in Manipur, if there's one state where it has sort of really struck a chord with, it is Kerala, because including churches and also several institutions, several leftist institutions have been talking about Manipur a great deal, to say that this is actually fact, and this is also to counter what several churches have done with respect to Kerala story. Now, BJP and several churches have the Syro Malabar Church especially have been aligned on one front, that there is a certain sense of design when it comes to co-opting Hindu and Christian girls in terrorist related activities, and then they call it love jihad. And they've been trying to promote this movie called Kerala Story. And Kerala Story has done very well across the country. And in Kerala especially, it has become a point of conflict between, political parties. Just last week, it was also telecast on national broadcaster Doordarshan. And the Chief Minister of Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan, took, opposition to that. And in fact, tweeted about it. He posted on X that this is not done. And he has been sending out these really strong messages to the Muslim community that it is the left party and not the Congress that is ready to take on the BJP, especially with the slow collapse or what we see as a slow collapse and decline of the Congress party in the Hindi heartland. He has also been very critical of Rahul Gandhi for filing his nomination from Wayanad. And I remember when he protested in Delhi against devolution of funds and fiscal justice, he called it fiscal injustice in Delhi. He made sure that there was nothing north and south divide about it, which is something that the Congress has been talking about. In fact, in his rally, you also had leaders like Arvind Kejriwal and Farooq Abdullah taking part, and aligning with the left vision. Now, let's also talk about the big faces. The big faces are, of course, Shashi Tharoor, who is seeking a fourth term from Thiruvananthapuram. Thiruvananthapuram battle is particularly interesting because it has a combination of rural and urban voters. Shashi Tharoor is, of course, against MOS Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Rajiv Chandrasekhar has spent a major part of his life in Karnataka, but he's also a Nair from Kerala. He's a Malayali, so this is a fight amongst Nairs. Sunil Kumar, from CPI, there is another candidate, Win Kumar, and it's a triangular contest, and it's important here to know that since the 80s, Thiruvananthapuram has been a Congress stronghold. In fact, the party has won the seat at least 9 times. CPI has managed to win 4 times, but the vote share actually presents a very different story. It says that the Congress in fact increased its vote share from 37% to 41% in between 2014 and 2019, and the BJP's vote share actually came down to 31% from 32% in 2014. But the BJP has always, for many years, managed to come second. For the last 3 years, it is the Congress that has won the seat. So it is a difficult battle for Rajiv Chandrasekhar. The NSS, which is the Nair Association, has come out and showed its support for Shashi Tharoor. But the Nairs, of course, are known to have, are known to vote differently. So it will be interesting to see how Rajiv Chandrasekhar manages to fight this contest, which is seen as difficult. We also have A.K. Anthony's son, Congress leader A.K. Anthony's son, Anil Anthony, fighting from Pathanamthitta, which is where the Shabrimala temple is. And that is where Thomas Isaac, a former finance minister in the LDF government, is also fighting. You also have Anto Anthony, seen as a veteran Congress leader. He's the MP, he's been the MP from there. So that's also an interesting fight. Then, of course, there is Vadakara, which will see the fight between former Health Minister K.K. Shailaja and Congress leader Shafiq Pirambil. And then, of course, in Palakkad is where the BJP is hoping to make a dent. Palakkad is one of the few places where the BJP did extremely well in the municipal elections. It is seeing a rise in vote share there. And in Attingal, Mr. V. Muralidharan, the MOS for External Affairs, is fighting. And like I said, Thrissur is where Suresh Gopi, after-turned politician, is contesting on a BJP ticket. And so these are some of the interesting contests. Now, of course, there are these big questions when it comes to who is going to perform when. Now, BJP, of course, knows that there is a critical... It sees Kerala as a battle in progress, and it feels that it has achieved a certain amount of critical mass support, and it is just about walking that extra mile. UDF does not have too many big issues, but UDF is trying to present itself as the party that is taking on the BJP. Rahul Gandhi was in Wayanad 2 days ago, and he said that why should Kerala be run from Nagpur? And that's an important statement because it also, in some ways, is a counter to the CPM reaching out to the Muslim communities. 27% of Kerala is Muslim, 18% is Christian, which is why the minority vote becomes all the more important in this state. So, and LDF, on the other hand, like I said, is reaching out to the minorities, like the BJP is reaching out to the Christian communities and making, development its primary agenda. The Prime Minister, in fact, has said that all left parties everywhere are the same, but this election is all the more important for the CPM. Because this is a state where the CPM has managed to do well politically, whereas in other parts of this country, it has been on a constant state of decline, including in West Bengal. So this election is also important for the LDF's national status, at the same time for the future of Pinarayi Vijay.